I know most of you already know, but Israel is under attack from Iran. This has never happened before. It's unprecedented. Iran has never attacked Israel from its mainland. This is big. This is escalating a lot. I'm going to talk about it and get some things out in the air tonight, talk about some possibilities. Let's go. Big Picture Live. Now, right off the bat, I want to just say that obviously you can see that I'm not in my studio. I didn't have time to get in my studio. I was driving from our state capital for many hours today, coming back home. And I don't know if you can tell by the sound, I'm a little under the weather, but this is too big not to get on here and talk about. So we're live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. Did not have enough time to set it up on Rumble. To my Rumble family that might be watching this on the replay, I'm sorry. It's because Rumble makes it so difficult to go live quickly. I hope that they remedy that. I'm committed to Rumble, but when breaking news happens like this, it's very, very difficult. Let's go straight to the discussion of the night. Iran has attacked Israel. We know that. Most of you are aware of that. Has warned that the threat, the IDF, the Israel Defense military, has warned that the threat is ongoing. Interceptions continue. They just had a press conference from Israel that I watched live. Very rare for them to do the press conference in English, but it was, to me, very telling that they did it in English because they knew that the world was watching. And it was not just that they were speaking to their people, they were speaking to the world. And in that, it was detailed that there was a 7-year-old girl wounded when one of the missiles, one of the drones did come into one of their military barracks, and there was light damage. But it says a 7-year-old girl from a Bedouin village near Arad was seriously wounded by the Iranian attack, according to David Adam. Minor damage was caused to infrastructure at an IDF base in southern Israel. But I want to go to this right here from the Times of Israel. Netanyahu also came out and made a statement in Hebrew as well as English that Netanyahu says that Israel is ready for direct. Israel says, excuse me, Netanyahu says Israel ready for direct attack from Iran and will respond in kind. So this was a little bit earlier in the day when they knew this was coming. When I was driving back from our state capital for our Don't Mess With Our Kids rally, I was watching a live, or listening to a live, I should say, while I was driving from Amir Safadi that many of you are familiar with. And he was live there in Israel, in Galilee, and was describing that the drones were picked up. There was at that time over 100 drones seen. At that time, it was not known that there was also cruise missiles attached as well. And very, very interesting that it took almost 7 hours for the suicide drones to make it to Israel because it had to cross across other countries to get there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go back to the article in just a minute, and I want to update you on some other things that are going on when it comes to Israel. But this is unprecedented. Now, we know that Iran has been, by proxy, attacking Israel for generations. And one of the ways that they've always done it is through Hamas, through Hezbollah, through things happening in Syria. In fact, the intelligence was that there was multiple suicide drones had been shipped to Syria, and Israel was preparing to be attacked from Syria on behalf of Iran. There were Iranian drones, but I'm sure it wasn't a surprise to the IDF, but much to the surprise of the world, because that was the only news that was being reported. What is that the actual attack came from mainland, the actual homeland of Iran. Now, and all the things that has happened over the years and all the threats that Iran has made to Israel, saying that they would wipe them off the map and all the progression that they've had towards their nuclear weapons, Iran has never launched an attack against Israel from Iran. You know, I really do believe that everything that happened on October 7th was funded, planned, and was very heavily involved by Iran. But this escalates it. Now, so what is the big question now? The big question is, what is Israel going to do? Um, when you watch Safadi, if you watched Amir Safadi, then you know that his words was on the video that I watched was he thinks it's a good thing. And excuse me one second. Just hold that right just 1 second. Okay, sorry. Um, he felt like it was a good thing because he felt like that this finally gives them an opportunity to address the head of the snake. Coming from a very pro-Israel person, he's a Jewish Messianic Jew that lives there, and they've never been given the opportunity to actually attack Iran and deal with them because there was never the provocation of them being attacked from Iran's actual homeland. So you have the side of Sarfati that is saying, yes, we need to retaliate. We need to go in and go ahead and end and cut off the head of the snake because, according to people like Amir and others that I follow, the snake that is the terrorism and all of the Arab nations that hate Israel ultimately is funded by Iran. So the thought is, if we deal with Iran, it's a snowball effect. The funding and the weapons and all of that going to all these other enemies of Israel are taken care of with one swoop. So let's see what happens. We're already hearing from things from Biden, although it is being reported that a few of the drones that were intercepted by the United States, and of course, United States funded and provided military equipment. But so here we are. What's going to happen? Is this going to escalate? I believe it probably is going to escalate. I believe what I'm already hearing is that Biden is going to probably try to get Netanyahu to not respond in any kind of heavy way. It's coming out now that Iran is even saying, if you remember when Trump was president and they killed the high up general Salami, I didn't say Salami. It's not Salami. I can't think of his name. It sounds sort of like that. That they killed by drone attack. And Iran told them, we're going to retaliate. We have to retaliate. And then they, of course, fired missiles into the American military facility. And we just sort of absorbed that. And they basically said, hey, if you fire back again, we'll fire back again. So Iran retaliated, and then salami. Yeah, people are laughing at me saying salami. So that's what they've done this time too. Already Iran has come out tonight. I don't know if you've heard this yet, and said, listen, as far as we're concerned, this is over. Israel, it's in your hands now. You attacked our people, killed our people there in Syria, and we responded in kind. Now it's over. If you retaliate against us, then we'll be forced to retaliate again. So they're playing the mind game, and they have now put it in Israel's hands. So I believe that's also playing into the world's narrative that they're going to love to jump on Israel, because they're going to say, okay, Israel, you have you did this, you asked for this, blah 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 blah. So if you do not respond, then this thing goes away. But if Israel responds, and I believe they probably will, then you're going to see the world once again turn against Israel. I really believe that we're about to see some major escalation in the Middle East. I believe that they've known that this was coming. I believe that's one of the reasons why America and others have moved so many military assets to that region of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just telling you, I don't even want to have to say this, but I think you probably know this. If I'm sitting in China and I'm Xi Jinping and I'm thinking about, one day we're gonna take Taiwan. Well, I mean, if I'm him, I'm thinking, and I'm not worried about giving him ideas that he don't already have from little old me. But I'm thinking, hey, if we're ever going to do it, it's now. You got these elections coming up. You got this guy that's possibly going to become president. It's going to telling us he's going to stop it. He's going to stop all this from happening. Man, while the world is focused on the Middle East, while the world is focused on Israel, we've got this big common enemy now of all these people. Uh, I'm going for Taiwan, and if I'm Putin, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, if I want to go ahead and finish Ukraine, I've just sort of been restrained in the weapons that I've been using. But hey, this thing goes to another level. Israel retaliates against Iran. All of a sudden, Iran, is very, very closely tied to China and Russia, and so all of a sudden you just begin to see the ingredients of what we've been talking about on this channel for a long time now. That we've been praying and praying and praying and speaking and declaring. Hope we're wrong. Hope we're wrong. Hope this is not going to happen. Hope everything we're talking about potentially could happen never happens. We have to get on here and say we missed it. But I'm just telling you, it's looking more and more like something big is coming globally, not just in the Middle East. And think about it. In history, how many times has that? You go all the way back in thousands and thousands of years. Wars have been fought. No telling how many people have died over that little strip of land there that God promised to Abraham that would be an everlasting covenant with him. And there's just people that don't want to accept that covenant. And the Bible prophecy talks about uh, Gog and Magog and the enemies of the east coming in. I mean, we could go on and on and on tonight. That in our lifetime, we're seeing things that we heard preached about for most of our lives, and we believed it, but we just thought that's coming one day because the world's nowhere near anything like that happening. Well, those days are over. The world is there. Now I want to go back to this page here, and let's see if I can change this site because I want to show you something. If I can go there. Well, I had it. Where is it at? There it is. All right. So this is a site. Of course, I don't normally trust CNN, but I like the fact that they are updating live here. This is the global CNN site, and so of course this is the main coverage here. But see, you can see it's updating right now. At this time, it's 7:57 my time p.m. Central. So let's just read through these headlines real quick. Meeting, this is 1 minute ago. Meeting between Biden and National Security Team has resumed. Biden expected to speak with Netanyahu. I'd like to know how that conversation went. Let's just see how the world in that region has reacted. Look at this. Kuwait Airways reroutes all their flights. Saudi Arabia calls for restraint amid Iranian attacks on Israel. The ministry reaffirms the kingdom's position that stresses the need for the UN Security Council to take responsibility for maintaining international peace and security, especially in this highly sensitive region for global peace and security. 11 minutes ago, Amman from Jordan, residents report seeing flashes in the sky over the Jordanian capital. By the way, the Jordanian government shot down some of these as well because it went over their sovereign land. Because you can see, Jordan borders Israel, and Iran's drones and cruise missiles, if that is fact, had to cross over Jordan, and Jordan said that they would shoot down any unauthorized vessels going across their sky. Spain and Portugal call for de-escalation. See the pattern here? Everyone's calling for de-escalation. Iran's Revolutionary Guards warned U.S. any act against Iran will see reciprocal response. Let's read this. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard issues a warning to the United States asserting that any support or participation in actions against Iran's interests will be met with a decisive response. This is to the United States. It says it has held the U.S. responsible for what it's termed the evil actions of the Israeli government. Any threat by the terrorist state of America and the Zionist regime from any country will be followed by a reciprocal and proportional response from the Islamic Republic of Iran to the source of the threat. U.S. air defense systems in the Middle East have intercepted some Iranian drones. Now, this was the press conference I was talking about at the beginning of the program that was given in English, which was very unusual because most of the time you have to have an English interpreter for his press conference. Now, there are times that he would do it in Hebrew and then he would do it in English, but he gave this one in English. Why? Because he knew that he was speaking to the world. One of the quotes from it was, "Our planes are still in the air, intercepting targets, and we are ready for any threat that will come to Israel." Of course, the United Nations Security General condemns Iraq's attack on Israel. That's just a talking point because by tomorrow they'll be condemning Israel again because the United Nations hates Israel. And this is all going within the last hour. These are things that are happening here in Israel. So let's see. That 1 minute ago, just updated. FBI has not observed credible threats to U.S. in wake of Iran's attack of Israel. And of course, these are just updating on the fly. So yes, I believe that. Listen, y'all, we're in biblical prophecy times. That is literally not a scare tactic. That is not fear mongering. Just open your eyes. Now, to those that don't believe in the Bible, they think that this is just a bunch of crazy loons on the internet talking about Jesus coming. And that's okay because they don't believe in the Bible. But if you believe in the Bible and if you believe in God and if you believe in Jesus, then you understand that there are things in the Bible called signs. We just had one of the most celestial, cosmic signs that you can have. Now, I have said it and I've made it very clear. I did not believe that the rapture is going to happen. I didn't even believe that this solar eclipse was going to trigger anything, whether it be a war, whether it be an earthquake or not. I didn't know. It was just an amazing thing to see. But God's word is very clear that the sun and the moon and the stars, before they were ever assigned to be light, was assigned to be signs. And there's a term, a harbinger, a sign that is put in the heavenlies to show you that something has shifted and something has changed. I believe that when I stood there and I watched the eclipse, it was the most amazing thing. If you've ever seen one, you can't describe it. When I saw the totality, I was in awe of the creation of God, but I could sense something. And I believe all over the United States, the people that saw it, and even people that didn't see totality, I believe the people that are tuned in spiritually could sense that something had shifted in the spirit realm. But now let's talk about the physical realm tied to the spirit realm. This ain't what this video is about, but isn't it strange that on the same day that we had that harbinger, that sign in the heavens, which was supposed to make us really realize how small we are in this universe, in God's big, massive plan that He has, CERN was restarted on that exact day. Why did they choose that exact day? Come on, NASA knows when solar eclipses are going to happen for thousands of years in advance. They knew that this was going to be a day that people was going to be looking up at the heavenlies, and they restarted CERN. Well, the what is it, Higgs boson, whatever it's called. I'm terrible at English. You know that in memory, but that was Higgs boson or something is the name of the God particle. Well, the guy Higgs, the Higgs part of that name that came up with the concept that the God particle that was that the ingredients just before the quote unquote Big Bang. He died on April 8th. Okay, look, yeah, ooh, rabbit hole, ooh, conspiracy. I get it. I get that's the way you would think. But listen, there's too many things happening. There's too many things happening for us to just throw them away and throw them off as conspiracy. Something big is coming. Something big is coming. I believe the Middle East is about to escalate. I don't know. I may be completely wrong about this, and that's okay. Look, I don't have a problem being wrong. I don't have a problem admitting that I'm wrong when I'm wrong. I just talk about my gut feeling, and my gut feeling is I don't believe that this is it. I don't, no matter how no matter how Israel responds, massively or proportionally or whatever, I believe all parties involved feel like they are running out of time because they are, physically and spiritually. I believe people, look, I don't know if Donald Trump's going to become president or not, but I believe there's a lot of people around the world. It's very powerful people, people in the military, people that run governments. I believe they are scared to death of the fact that he is. Not to say that he would do the right thing, not to say that he's the savior of the world. Please understand. Donald Trump, I got my issues with Donald Trump as well. But I believe that they know they have an administration in America right now that they can do anything they want to do. And I don't care what kind of threats come their way. Netanyahu is saying to himself, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it now. I think Iran is saying, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it now. I believe Hezbollah, Syria, Jordan, Russia, China, I believe all of the world's powerful people are saying, listen, if we're going to do anything, we better do it now. Because the atmosphere and the environment is going to be different this time next year. So if we're going to do anything, we're going to do it now. Well, can I say something? In the spirit realm, I feel the same way. I feel like we're running out of time in the spirit realm too. I believe if you're ever going to be right with God, you better get right with God now. You better stop putting this off. You better stop saying, I'm going to do a few more things, then I'm going to get right with God. Listen, we're running out of time. And I believe the devil knows that. And I believe that's why the devil is increasing his attack. I believe that's why CERN cranked up. I believe that's why they're trying to tap into another realm, trying to release as much evil as they can. I believe that's why they're passing laws. Think how fast the agenda coming after our children and coming after the identity of our children. Teachers who for generations taught reading, math, and science. Now they're on a mission to teach sexuality into elementary kids. Think about how fast that happened. Think about how fast even commercials have changed to where the whole idea of what a family looks like has been redefined like that. Now, I know it's been a long game of the devil. The devil's played a long game, but would you not agree that our society, our world, everything seems to be escalating? It seems to be escalating, y'all. And I'm telling you, if this much stuff, this much damage to the family, this much damage to principles and morality has been done this quick, what do you think it's going to look like 5 years from now if people do not wake up? Listen, you see these gray hairs in my beard? You see these? That's because I'm an old man, okay? I'm a pawpaw. I'm a pawpaw, and I'm proud to be a pawpaw. But can I tell you something? God told me as a pawpaw, you're not going to be able to slow down. You're going to have to get on YouTube, and you're going to have to tell the world what I tell you to tell them. And you're going to be busier than you've ever been. So I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to do what I'm doing right now. Am I a Bible expert? No. Am I a prophecy expert? No. Am I an expert in Israeli negotiations, policy, wars in the Middle East? No. I'm not expert in anything. In fact, I'm not an expert in anything. But I've been preaching the gospel for over 30 years, same church. I've been pastoring the same church for 30 years. I've been preaching the gospel for almost 35 years. So I'm not claiming to be a Bible expert, but I know the Bible. I know the Bible enough to know that we are in perilous times. When Jesus said in Matthew 24, and think about it, I understand. You can come back at me and say, well, there was no such thing as the Gregorian calendar that we date on our calendar now. I know, but remember, God's Alpha and Omega. He knew that the end times would be governed by a calendar that did not exist in the time that he said this. And he also knew that in 1611, they would put chapter and verses in our Bible so it would help us find things and memorize things. There wasn't in existence before then. But watch this. In all God's wisdom, he knew that when he said in Matthew 24, there'll be wars and rumors of wars. There'll be earthquakes in divers places, pestilence. Talks about the days of Noah. All of that was in chapter 24. 24 is the year of the open door. Man, this year, it's only April. This year is shaping up to be a year like none other. You think 2020 was something? 2024 will be a year that we will never forget because it's the year of the open door. And think about how I always try to tell you this. Everything the devil does, he does it as a pathetic imitation of what God does. So if God is saying it's the year of the open door, then guess what? The enemy wants to open doors. That's why he cranked up CERN. That's why he's doing all that he's doing now. You hear my dog whining? It's okay, buddy. Come here. Come here, AJ. Come here, AJ. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. It's okay. Even AJ's worried. He's worried. He's whining. That's my buddy right there. I wish y'all could see him. Let me see if I can help y'all see him. Hey, AJ. Say hey to the big picture family. There's my buddy. There's my buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Yep. That's AJ. Best dog in the world. So here we are. It's time to pray. It's time to get your heart right with God. Keep your eyes on Israel. The Bible says the apple of God's eye, and it is the harbinger of end times. There is a reason why all eyes are on Israel now. It's because we are in the end times, and God said to watch the fig tree. Yeah, everybody's saying they love you, AJ. They want you to be in the video. Maybe we can do a segment with you another day. I'll bring you on as my guest host. Okay. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. If you hadn't hit that like button, that subscribe button, go ahead and do it now. What are you waiting on? Bless you, AJ. You just sneezed. What's wrong with you? You got the same allergies I got? But find your church and get in tomorrow. If not, watch us online at Solid Rock or somewhere else. We'll see you Monday night. I'll probably do some breaking news between now and Monday night. The Monday night show is going to be big, 7:00. If you're new to our channel, you don't know anything about it. It's every Monday night at 7:00. Sandy and I do a live 2-hour show, y'all, and we're going to be covering a lot of stuff. So be there with us and share this broadcast with those that are thinking about Israel. Love you guys. God bless and have a great night. Remember, we ain't woke, but we certainly are awake. Pray.